Blessings, everyone. Welcome to another Live with the Cookie. I want to give the credits to this video to Yolanda Van Zant. Credit belongs to Yolanda Van Zant. The N-Word Project.
My brothers, before I get into any discussion, I'm taking a second to let you know that I love you. You are Earth's original peoples, capable of anything in your reflection, the essence of a king. That's why in this moment I am still conflicted, self-restricted from using a single word because of the pain it's inflicted. This word is a virus bubbling up inside us, a word that we reverse, but in reverse is where it guides us, and I guess that's what surprises me. That's why I'm triggered when a brother who loves his brother's calling his brother a nigga. Called your brother a nigga? Called your brother a nigga? Would you call your mother a nigga? Nah, I didn't figure. And the fact that you won't use it, what the woman gave you birth, is what makes the explanation that it's harmless even worse. If it's such a loving term black people have accepted, why won't you use the term with the woman you respected? I mean, I've been a lot of places. There may be something I'm forgetting, but I've never seen it used at a wedding. Eyes locked, holding hands with your significant other. Would you say the N-word to inspire your baby's mother? Tell your daughter you love her. Tell your grandmother and grandfather this is the freedom of yours they fought for. It's fine, because we say it all the time. Y'all say it's fine because we say it all the time. You say it's fine because we say it all the time. You call this niggas while picking cotton. Want your cotton picking mine? Best believe I used to use it. I said it with ease. On second thought, dog, I abused it. I had a disease. I told brothers that we should lose it. Brothers disagreed. They said it's a term of endearment. They be like, nigga, please. So I'm calling my brothers niggas, not calling my niggas brothers. Hold up. Why's the only time we niggas with each other? Brother to brother, are you afraid others will judge you if when you see me, instead of nigga, you just said I love you? And it's a complicated history from movies, music to comedy. Black entertainers said the word with love and affection, but it's become a mystery through movies, music, and comedy. Other races abuse turn black wounds into an infection, and we fight for the right to say it. But we're not fighting for a future that is termed as if it's really right to say it. Who am I to say enough? Who am I to bring it up? Who's this nigga asking you niggas to give it up? I am. One of your brothers is the reason I'm invited. I am a man that speaks the truth even if you don't like it. I am aware that transformation happens in phases. The first step is the awareness there's no benefit to say it. Screw acceptance. We go from it's okay to it's outrageous. Cause they call brothers niggas for they lock them up in cages. They call black fathers niggas so they can't make better wages. So I'm only using words that bridge a brother to his greatness. My camera was broken, but now I get the picture. There's a much bigger audience using the word nigga. So when I say brothers, it's brothers of all persuasions. My brothers black and Latino, Caucasian and Asian in every city and state. Every country and continent. The N-word is a problem all over the fucking place. And words like nigga live in all genders, races, religions. A word you may feel is freedom, for someone else is a prison. So what I'm trying to teach you is a lesson I was given. The words that you choose, words you abuse. The words that you use create the world that you live in. Nigga means ignorant. Doesn't make us better men. Can't put it at the end of your name to go practice medicine. It doesn't make you richer, healthier, or blacker. It does not improve the chances of making black lives matter. And if black lives matter, my niggas, here's what I'm asking. Why would I call you nigga when your righteous name is black man? Originals, brothers, sophisticated or gutter. I am only using words that will show my brothers I love you. And the love runs so deep, I am willing to take this saying for the brothers that will sit and try to make me the villain. I'm the tattoo remover here to get it off your chest. It'll sting a little bit, but this is my request. I am asking you to rethink your words. I'm not calling you out, I am calling you forwards. Stop using the word nigga. What to call your brother other than the N-word is only one thing. If that man's really your brother, only thing that you should call him is a king.
Blessings and welcome, everyone. Blessings and welcome. That was a little clip I had found a couple of months ago. Well, I guess it's been about a month ago on Yolanda Van Zant show. And I thought it was so powerful. And I was trying to find the right time to use it. But of course, I know a lot of times I hit on a lot of women, subjects and issues that I may not talk a lot about men, but we all know we've been going through this forever. And recently with, the unaliving of our Black men, that, we've had marches, we had rallies, we had hashtags, and the Black Lives Matter came out. And I just thought that was so powerful because in today's society, we do use that word so freely and we use it among ourselves. A lot of times we may say we use it as a term of endurement, but do we really? I would like to think that we do. With as far as you guys go, with your boys, your homies, we say that word like it just rolls off our lips so easily and jokingly. Sometimes we say it out of anger at each other. Most of the time it is when we're angry with each other. So if anything that anybody might have gotten out of that clip, I hope it's to be more cautious and mindful on when we use that word to each other, especially, I was going to say, especially for our young men, our kings. But in this day and age, it goes for both and all women, men, children alike. I also, before I start with Blessings DB, welcome. Did you see that clip that I just played? I thought it was really nice. It's unfortunate that no one got to see it. I guess they'll see it on the replay. Um, are you sticking around or are you just popping in? Because I can drop the link. You know me, I like to have conversations. And then you could tell me if you would like to watch it. It's like I said, it's mostly for men, I guess. But I guess it could be for women to teach and tell their young guy. And because I think all young men should, hopefully, if they was to hear this, get something out of it. Okay, so I won't replay it. This next one, I'm going to have to give credit to a young lady named Leela Motel. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Motel. And this is going to be part of my discussion. Like I said, it's always a time when we're hashtagging young Black men that get unalived by the hands of our men in blue. And a lot of times by other young Black men. But I found this clip that I thought would be fitting. So I hope you enjoy this one as well before I get into my discussion. Wow, I think that's not it. Okay, let me get rid of this one. I got too many up there, huh? I got lost there. Well, it's got to be this one. Yeah, I hope so. Don't want to go out of context. Yeah, it was the right one. I could have kept that one up there.
Everybody in my family spends a whole lot of time worrying about our black boys. About body bags and empty beds. I spend a whole lot of time worrying about our black boys. About blue suits and bullets. And yet, I'm not losing sleep over my future daughter or over my sister because we ain't supposed to remember Charlena Lyles, Sandra Bland, Alteria Woods, right? Because if we recognize black woman death, we gonna have to recognize black woman rape, black woman health, black woman right to her own body. So instead, here we are. In the push and pull of my pain can't be real if yours is too. Fear crawling up our spines, only allowed to speak for our brothers like they're the only ones we gotta protect. Sisters, we are entitled to our fear. To that quick pulse at the sound of a siren, entitled to shout our brothers' names, risk our lives for them just as we do for our own. We got scars just as deep, bodies that still ain't healed. We got danger in our breath and a right to hold our brothers accountable, to not always be the only ones who nurture, who protect, to not always try to be smaller, a little less woman, a little less loud. No, we got a right to be seen with skin that ain't always unbreakable, to not fear shame before we fear danger, because I don't want my baby coming home like the Oklahoma City girls, with blood dripping down her thigh, telling me that he wore blue, that there ain't no one to call because I don't want to come home with a spine of fear, with blood and legs and no one to turn to, no brothers to trust. When you say brutality, I am left wondering if you mean Stephon Clark bullets to the back and Eric Garner not enough breath, but not Rakia Boyd gun to the head, or Tarnesia Corley strip search robbed of her body. It is time we get to coexist in our rage. Time to say black woman body matter just as much. Time we get to defend each other without it being a brave feminist stand. Time for black women to have a right to a spine that is scared and still allowed to curve, allowed to show she can't always stand up straight, can't always hold all these deaths, all these rapes, all this wondering when she will matter, when this will be her fight.
Yes. So those two videos kind of go side to side, you know, with speaking on Black Lives Matter, our young men, our young women. We used to, like I said, look at it to where it was a lot of hashtags for the men, for our young boys. And now we see ourselves saying the same thing for women. Sandra Blake, wasn't that her name? I forget the young lady's name. I wrote it down. But right now we're talking about Sonia Massey. I hope I say her name right. Massey. It's a sad, sad world that we're living in. And I had to wonder, because I heard a lot of people, discussing it. I watched a conference with the family, and people spoke about, she had a mental issue, that she was going through a mental break. I believe her mother said that she was suffering from. Now, was that an excuse? Of course not. Of course not. Because we have to ask ourselves, when would be a okay moment for someone to take someone's life, especially when we're talking about the men in blue. You know, having to deal with a mental illness alone is very scary and lonely for the individual. And it also affects the family when they know they have a family member who suffer from a mental imbalance. And when you have to call the law, when you have to call the people that supposed to be in these United States of America to protect us, we call on them when we're in trouble. We call on them when we need help. And to always wonder if it will end in an incident of your loved one being unalive, you kind of wonder, do I take my chance and let this person that's suffering from a chemical imbalance, a mental breakdown, or whatever form that they may have, do I trust that they will go through their episodes and be okay? Or do we call for help? And when we call for that help, is our mind at ease to know that they sit in a trained person to help our loved ones? I was trying to think of a scenario where, the men in blue could possibly justify unaliving someone who was going through a mental break. And I couldn't. There is none. Because if you got trained officials, if they truly are trained to handle these situations, we wouldn't have issues like this. We wouldn't have a problem like this. We wouldn't have a hashtag like these. And the only scenario that I could come up with is if that person has a weapon themselves. And the only weapon that I feel like you still would maybe, I guess anything could be a weapon, but the thing that we know that don't have a name to it that goes so fast and can be done in a blink of an eye would be a handgun. So if that person is suffering from a mental crisis, was to happen to have a handgun, then would it be a justified unalive situation? It still shouldn't be an unjustified or justified unalive situation. Because you should never want to shoot to kill. You should never want to shoot to unalive, right? You're supposed to try to diffuse the situation, to de-escalate the situation. So why not shoot to the leg? Oh, well, that person can still lift that gun up and shoot. Okay, shoot in the arm that they're holding the gun. This could be a situation that you might have to defend yourself as an officer. But most of the time when we hear about these situations, we hear of shoot to kill situations. A bullet to the head, a bullet to the back, a knee to the throat. So I have a couple of clips that I want to share and have a discussion about them. I understand that sometimes it's very hard to try to calm down or diffuse a situation when you're dealing with someone with a mental illness. It can be, let's take one step at a time. For a family member that deals with someone with a mental illness, it can be very hard. Like you said, and you have to think twice about if you want to call the authorities for assistance. I have a family member that deals with bipolar. And if they're off their medication, they go spiraling down. to a point till, you have to monitor it if they're not willing to go to the hospital or take their meds. And sometimes there has been times when you have to call the authorities for assistance. And it's always going to be that fear of, will that person be trained to handle the situation? So I get it. I get it. Because until you know someone or you deal with it on a one-on-one situation, it can be a difficult situation to handle. But I believe that our police officers are supposed to be trained for that, correct? They're supposed to know what to do to diffuse a situation, to de-escalate, to calm a person, to make sure that everyone gets home safely, not just themselves. Protect and serve is what our motto is supposed to, is what their motto is supposed to be. So when we have to lose a loved one by the hands of someone in blue, by anyone really, but we're talking about the blue today. When we have to lose a loved one by the hands of someone in the blue, and to find out that their first instinct was to shoot to unalive, where do we go from there? Who we cry to for help? How do we change the laws? How do they be accountable? So we have to keep on going through this, not year after year or month after month. This is day after day after day that we have to hear about someone being unalive by the people that are supposed to protect and serve us, by the people who get paid to be trained to de-escalate a situation so everybody can go home and sleep in their own home with their family. So what is the answer? Like I said, those poems that I played, those two poems that were recited by the gentleman and the lady, I would hope that when you listen to them, it make you think differently about how we treat each other, how we look to each other for strength, friendship, love, hope. We got enough against us than to be against each other. And I understand. Hello, my beautiful Carla. How are you tonight? Thank you. I appreciate that. I understand that it's hard sometimes to try to get along with people who may not want to get along with you. But us as people, we got to do something different. We have to do something different. Carla, I'm so happy that you're here. You missed the first two clips with the poems. I thought it was very powerful. Hopefully you'll catch the replay. The link is there if you want to jump in. I'm going to play the first clip, which is the actual recording after the incident, the dispatch call, the audio of the dispatch call that was taken right after the incident. The following audio consists of Sangamon County Central Dispatch System. Deputy Sean Grayson is accused of shooting Macy in the face.
As she's 318, 319, just 43. When you're clear that, I'm going to have you both stacked to a prowler. Caller hears noises outside the house. Wouldn't answer questions, hung up on us. 19, I'm en route. 18 en route. 18 and 19, 23. 18, 19, Timber. 19 from 18, let's knock. Can't get contact with it. Timber. 319. 319. You want to try and call her 17 back here and let her know we're out front? So. Hitting no answer on callback, going to a voicemail with no name. I hear her phone ringing, she's in front of the door, so we're about to go to it. So, 318, 319. 43 now, we're getting an open line on 911 from a 911 only cell phone. It's not the call that she originally called from. And all we can hear is some sort of wrestling around. Yeah, she was yelling inside. She told us to hold on. 19, I got a 20 foot. Go ahead. Hang on. 318, are you out with her? Yes, please hang up. Absolutely will. Gentleman's close, units out, and you can start. Headshot, where's the female? 1078. And you can start 2868 Hoover, 2868 Hoover. Units on scene are 1078, shots fired. You can start for 2868 Hoover, 1018, use 10-0 for shots fired. Team is going to be around. Hey, thanks for showing me. 7-4. Training flash, I'm sure.
669, 10-4.
Where's that at?
695, 2678 Hoover, 2678 Hoover.
Oh.
10-4.
Creo 2, I'm en route.
18 perfect.
Sure. From ahead. Copy that.
Adam 03, once we get some suspect information or vehicle information, that's the stuff we need to start working on to help them out.
Adam 03, E21.
4.
Springfield 4, Frank 19, 1042.
19, 10-4.
Where's Spring Y? Just confirm self-inflicted.
Perfect.
2 on out. Copy County's update.
I didn't.
Self-inflicted.
Okay, thank you.
Units en route to Hoover, slow down and continue. Units en route to 2868 Hoover, slow down and continue. 10 more units en route to Hoover, continue but slow down. EMS coming 1018. All units have been advised to slow down except for EMS, who is coming 1018. 43, team is going to be coming 1018. Make sure you're clear of the roadway to the scene.
Right. Secure now.
695, turn 4.
I'm gonna be 23.
Yeah.
16-1 arrives, secure now.
16-1, 10-4.
I think we're good out here. We don't need anybody else. 10-4, any units are out to Hoover that are not 10-6 or 23, disregard and advise.
On 4 investigation, this will be en route, and they are contacting their CSI as well.
Copy that.
And I'm 23 on Hoover.
Tower.
Well, now to
Okay, so. Oh, God. So from what I gathered, the link is down if anybody want. Is the link or did I? Yeah, the link is there. I'll put it down again. From what I gathered, the call was made at 1:01. No, I'm sorry, 12:50 a.m. Right? By the time the police officers got to her door, it was 1:01. They were explaining to the officers that they were trying to call her, and they wasn't getting the answer through her phone. It was going to voicemail. They said they heard somebody, like someone's scrubbing around, fighting or things, And then she came to the door, and as we know, the officer went in. So from 12:50 to 1:01, the police officers are there. 12:50 was the time they called. She called them. 1:01 is the time the police got there. By 1:21 was when they reported a shot. The police officers saying there was a shot. And they said it was to the head. By 1:23, it was reported, which I'm trying to figure out, how would the dispatchers know, unless the police officer said that, it was a self-inflicted shot? Is everybody following me so far? 12:50, the call was made to 911. 1:01 a.m., the police officers arrived at her address. 1:21 a.m., the shots were heard. 1:23, it was reported to be a self-inflicted shot. At 1:26, the ambulance arrived. At 1:51 is when the officer asked for, what is it, a SCI, CSI? So I guess that's like some type of, I guess they're jailhouse rep, the police rep people. Now, I've been looking at so many clips. So I hope I don't give too much or say the wrong thing at the wrong time. Supposedly, I don't know if anybody's seen the video where they showed the officer was walking around checking outside of her house because she said she heard somebody outside her door or outside of her yard thinking they were trying to break in. They showed a car and the window was busted out. And I believe it's the passenger side back window, I think it was. So she admitted that she did that herself. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't want to give too much. Like I said, it's just, for me, hearing the dispatcher's audio and how they kind of got a timeline of how this all played out, right? It seems like when the officers asked the dispatcher to stay on the line, I guess it may be until she answered the door, or maybe after they got done talking to her and investigating and getting back into their cruiser. But evidently the dispatcher was on the line communicating with them through this whole thing. So I'm trying to figure out, and like I said, they jumped some gaps through the audio with the timing. So was that the timing that they were inside the house and perhaps they didn't have their little walkie-talkie thing on for the dispatchers to hear what was going on inside the home? Because I would like to think if it was, they should have heard him say what he said to her, right? So next, since nobody hit the link, I'm going to go to the next clip. Which is going to be a little news clip. Oh, once again, I forgot to shout out to all the newscasters. I think it was ABC, KSDK, and local ABC. So I'm giving credit to them just in case, I don't know how this works. So all credits to the news people. This next clip is set up to be like they talk about the training that these officers are supposed to get, how much training they get, how they get it, and why they feel as though most of these, well, I guess they think all the officers are trained to do what they're supposed to do in handling situations like this. I want to make sure I get the right one because I got it up here twice because I messed up. Maybe so. What, DB?
Although Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson was the one who fatally shot Sonia Massey, the Springfield Police Department says they're willing to listen to the community in an attempt to improve law enforcement. Chief Ken Scarlett spoke at Tuesday's Committee of the Whole meeting and addressed Massey's death and took questions.
To be done.
I think now we're at a place where we need to do some investigations into how this police officer actually got on the police force and some hard questions related to that. So I think that this is a conversation, the way I look at it, it's in the very beginning stages.
Budzinski added that she will work with officials at all levels to make sure people are held accountable. Well, questions are being raised about the training for police officers. This comes after former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson was arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the death of Sonia Massey. News Channel 20's Julia Rosier learned more about what training police officers have to go through before they're on duty. Julia? Stacey, that's right. The Illinois Sheriff's Association tells me police officers go through a 16-week training academy, among many other trainings. At the 16-week academy, they're taught about crisis intervention and interacting with other people while on the job. Other types of training include field and online trainings to cover a variety of situations that they may face while on duty.
We teach them the fundamentals of how to, use of force, teach them what they need to know, do simulations, different kinds of training like that, but it's different when it's live.
The Sheriff's Association says the field training programs officers go through may vary by department. We also reached out to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board to get some more information on the training requirements and certifications, but we haven't heard back. In studio, I'm Julia Rosier. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. The Sheriff's Association also says officers continue their trainings throughout their career, both online and in person.
2 Sangamon County board members have now called on Sheriff Jack Campbell to resign. Board member Mark Ayers released a statement saying, quote, in part, "Trust in our sheriff has been decimated, and his actions that led to the hiring of former Deputy Sean Grayson showed a lack of judgment and character that must be addressed," end quote. Tony Del Giorno echoed Ayers' statement, saying in part, quote, "I am calling on Sheriff Campbell to put the community ahead of his personal pride and ambition for the good of Sangamon County. He must resign," end quote. You can read both statements on our website. Well, fatal phone call questions are being raised about training for police officers. This comes after former Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the death of Sonia Massey.
News Channel 20's Julia Rosier is working for you to learn more about what training police officers have to go through before they're on duty. Julia?
Stacey, Dawn, that's right. The Illinois Sheriff's Association tells me police officers go through a 16-week training academy and many other types of trainings. They talked with me about the importance of these trainings and why the officers go through them. After a former sheriff's deputy is now charged with first-degree murder, questions are being raised about how police officers are trained.
We teach them the fundamentals of how to, use of force, teach them what they need to know.
Officers go through a series of training measures, including a 16-week academy, field training, and online trainings. At the 16-week training academy, they're taught about crisis intervention and interacting with other people while on the job.
We do simulations, different kinds of training like that, but it's different when it's live.
They also participate in field trainings with other officers, where they shadow and learn while on the job.
So they're going to ride with another officer. That officer is going to explain what they do. They've got certain benchmarks that they need to meet in order to be released to be on their own. It is something that gets them acclimated to the calls, because the last thing you want to do is just send them out there cold, and they're doing it with a domestic situation and they don't know how to handle it.
The Sheriff's Association says the field training programs officers go through may vary by department, but they emphasize that officers conducting this training must be well prepared.
But ultimately, even with that, you need to make sure that that person that you're trying to train is doing the job in front of you, so that you can see how they're going to act and react to different things and be able to help them in the process.
We also reached out to the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board to get more information on these trainings for requirements and certifications. In studio, I'm Julia Rosier. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. The Sheriff's Association also says officers continue their trainings throughout their career, both online and in person.
To look for answers in the death of Sonia Massey.
Sonia was shot and killed in her home on July 6th during an encounter with Sangamon County deputies. She had called 911 to report a possible prowler outside of her home.
Sangamon County received multiple 911 calls about Sonia Massey just days and hours before she was fatally shot by a deputy.
News Channel 20's Carson Gordy joins us live in the studio tonight after listening to those recordings.
On July 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Sangamon County Dispatch received 5 calls from either Sonia or her mother, who was concerned about her daughter's mental health. The first call was at 9:26 p.m. on July 4th. The call lasted for only 34 seconds.
911, what's the address for your emergency? Hello, 911.
I'm cool. Yeah,
hello, 911.
The next morning on July 5th at 9:07, Sonia's mother called 911 dispatch in regards to her daughter.
Daughter is being sporadic, and she's been mentally having a mental breakdown, which is something new to me. She's not a danger to herself. She's not a danger to me.
Her mother had a request for 911 dispatch and law enforcement when going to help her daughter dealing with mental health.
Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please.
Okay, well, that
They
would be
will
none
kill
of them, man.
her.
They just do their job, okay?
No, they're all they're scary. I'm scared of the police. Please,
Okay.
please
There's
help
nothing
me.
to be fearful of, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This was one of 2 times on July 5th that Sangamon County officials sent medical attention for Sonia.
Okay, and why did your neighbor hit you with a brick?
Well, come find out, because I can't tell you, man. I'm hurting real bad. And
Around 2 p.m. on July 5th, a Sangamon County deputy helped make sure that Massey got to St. John's Hospital for assistance. The sheriff's office wrote in a report, in quote, Sonia then admitted to breaking her own window on the back driver's side in an attempt to get into the car to get away from a neighbor. Law enforcement arrived at Massey's home once more on July 6 at 12:50 a.m. Massey had called dispatch after concerns of a prowler outside. Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson arrived to her home. According to court documents, Grayson shot and killed Massey after concerns of a hot pot of water. I'm Carson Gordy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carson. We asked Sangamon County whether Grayson had access to these call records and reports written by law enforcement and dispatch. The county says at this time it's unknown what Grayson had access to or saw before he entered Massey's home.
She was senselessly murdered by a person who wears a uniform, by a person who swore to uphold the same oath that I did. And because of that, I'm mad.
That was Chief Ken Scarlett at last night's Committee of the Whole meeting. Chief Scarlett condemned the actions of Sean Grayson, saying the Springfield Police Department, along with multiple local police departments, will look to rebuild relationships and trust within the community after the action of this Sangamon County deputy.
We are continuing to dig deeper into the background of former Deputy Sean Grayson, who's charged with first-degree murder for the death of Sonia Massey. News Channel 20's Carolina Hassett joins us now after discovering several findings from his past police departments. Carolina?
That's right. We received Sean Grayson's personnel file from Sangamon County, as well as documents from past police departments, many questioning why he was hired in the first place. And some findings in the reports may have those answers.
Former Deputy Sean Grayson was no stranger to other police departments in Central Illinois. Grayson worked at 5 different law enforcement agencies prior to Sangamon County. And according to Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell, that can be normal for a law enforcement career. Campbell saying, quote, "This is a standard career path in this field. What I prefer to see is movement to progressively larger and more structured agencies with higher levels of public interaction, which indicates professional growth and ambition." These documents also show that the sheriff's office reached out to departments where Grayson was employed in the past. The Logan County Sheriff's Office and the Auburn and Verdon Police Departments all agree Grayson needed more training. In the notes made by Sangamon County based on their conversation with Verdon, it says, quote, "Grayson did not demonstrate good officer safety skills. However, Chief Snodgrass advised me he believes that was because he was new to the job." Documents also show Grayson did have a psychological evaluation. The report said he met the standards. However, he scored low on cognitive assessment, saying, quote, "It will take him longer to learn, process, and apply new material compared to others." It later went on to say that he knows he moves too fast at times and needs to slow down in order to make good decisions.
Now, Auburn documents show Grayson scored a 30 out of 100 on his firearms course and passed. However, while getting hired at Sangamon County, he received a 94%. I reached out to the Auburn Police Department to ask why a 30 out of 100 score qualified as passing and was denied any commentary. In studio, I'm Carolina Hassett. Back to you, Stacey.
Thanks, Carolina. According to Sangamon County documents, Grayson refused to answer questions during his internal affairs interview on July 16th. Well, following the death of Sonia Massey, questions are being raised about the training for police officers. The Illinois Sheriff's Association told us officers go through a 16-week training academy and field training. They say the field training may vary by department, but they emphasize that officers conducting this training must be well prepared. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't.
Yeah, so, this is why I don't like to talk about stuff like this, because it's so senseless, and you're trying to find answers. You want to know answers, and you're never going to get them. It's never going to make sense. All we can do is keep her family in prayers. and, try to, we used to say we had a little talk with our young Black boys and our young men. But what do we do for the women when we think that, we used to be a little safe from that situation, from being, unalived by a police officer. And now our numbers are rising just as our Black men's are. The thing that got me, I guess maybe I should play the clip and y'all tell me what y'all thought y'all heard. Because I listened to it, oh my God, at least a dozen times, trying to make sure I heard the right thing in the right order. And, because it didn't make sense to me. If he wanted to say, I don't even understand how he's pleading not guilty. There's no way he could even try to justify this as self-defense. Because my thoughts of it all, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the tape. If he's saying that he felt threatened by a pot of boiling water, why would you walk towards her? You would think he would walk back, step back. But he walks towards her with his gun raised, already drawn, pointing it at her. So, when I first looked at it, I seen how he told her to drop it down, and it looks like she went to put it down on the floor. And as she probably looked up and seen him coming around the corner of the counter, your first instinct is to, try to protect yourself and block, even though your mind's not really thinking clearly. You might think, okay, maybe this pot will shield me. And it looks like she was raising the pot to shield herself. But yet he's going to say, she tried to throw water on him. It didn't look that way to me. Now, the clip that I have isn't the same clip I first seen it with, but it still kind of gives it the same effect. Because, I don't know, I'm going to have to maybe go back and find that first clip that I looked at, because to me, either my mind's playing tricks on me or my eyes are playing tricks on me, because this clip, if I remember correctly, I don't see the pot. But I remember the first clip that I watched, I seen the pot when he was walking around, like she had lifted it up. Maybe I'm confused and I've just been watching too many clips of it. But this is the clip of, I guess I could call it the actual call and video of the incident. Okay. You have a clip on your page. Okay, I'll see if I can pull it up. Okay. That's probably the one that I've seen most likely.
Latest on the Sonia Massey case, the 911 calls that led to the fatal police shooting in her home were released, along with the deputy's personnel file. Alex Perez is in Chicago, continuing to follow this story for us. Good morning to you, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Yeah, 165 pages of Grayson's personnel files were released. And for the first time, we're learning more about Sonia Massey's mental health struggles in the days before the shooting.
This morning, newly released 911 and dispatch audio shedding more light on the police shooting of Sonia Massey. On July 5th, Massey's mother, Donna, calling 911 to say Sonia was having a mental health episode.
She's been mentally having a mental breakdown. She thinks everybody's after her.
Donna pleading with the 911 operator not to hurt her daughter, insisting she was not a danger.
I don't want you guys to hurt her. Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please. They're scary. I'm scared of the police, please.
At 12:49 a.m. on July 6th, Sonia calling 911 herself to report a disturbance.
It sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see?
30-year-old Sean Grayson and his partner arriving at Sonia's doorstep in response.
What do you need help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
Things quickly escalating when Sonia asks to take a boiling pot of water off the stove.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop 19 shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
The body cam footage shows Grayson shooting Massey, something he has not denied. Grayson, charged with murder, is being held without bond and has pleaded not guilty.
I shot him this email.
Dispatch initially reporting Massey shot herself.
They're now saying self-inflicted.
Massey's family calling it a police cover-up and urging the Sangamon County Sheriff to resign.
She's got my baby's blood on his hands. He needs to go. So if he doesn't resign, he's going to go.
And those personnel files reveal Grayson refused to answer questions about the shooting after the incident and say his use of force in this case violated department policy. Guys?
All right, Alex, our thanks to you. And Sonia's family has been so strong throughout this. Thank you for your reporting.
Yes. Oh. So it's crazy because while I was just watching this, I realized what I was trying to listen to, they actually had it up in writing. But I was so intrigued in the video, I didn't even realize that was it. But what I had gathered that the words were said, she asked if she can get the water off the pot off the stove. She went over to get the water. Sonia, so she goes to get the water. The officer starts walking towards her with the gun drawn. She says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Get away from the water." Sonia repeats, "Get away from the water, huh? No, and then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." The officer says, "What did you say?" She repeats it and says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And he says, "You better not. I will shoot you in your fucking face." She says, "I'm sorry," but then you hear the bang, bang, banging. So did he shoot her because he felt threatened that she was going to throw the water on him? But he said, "You better get that water, that boiling water, that hot water." And she just repeated what he said. "I better get that boiling or that hot water in the name of, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Now, you're dealing with someone with a mental issue, perhaps. Why would you even think that? Why would you be offended because she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus"? Unless you're the devil, But I was listening. I was looking at the timeline also because I didn't realize until I came across this one clip that July the 4th, the mother. Let me make sure I wrote it down right. The mother had called. No, Sonia had called July the 4th at 9:26 p.m. The next day, the mother called at 9:07 a.m. Plus, there was another call on the 5th. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that it was the mother again, wanting them to come and get her daughter because they came and picked her up and took her to the hospital at 2 p.m. So on July the 5th, between 9:07 and 2 o'clock, There were 2 calls. Oh, I'm sorry, 312. I didn't see you. I was looking at my papers. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? 312.
Hi, Cookie. How are you? I had to cut the other sound down. I didn't want that distracting your life. I'm fine.
Good.
Were you able to pull the live?
The one that it was so short, I didn't want to, it just playing.
That's what they are. They're clips. They're like off the TikTok clips. Because they just give a minimum of the breakdown of, like what you was just speaking on, about
I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. Get to your
the
page.
rebuking. It was a couple of them because it was like one or two police officers. They spoke. I don't know if I shared both of them, but I know I shared one of them. But yeah, a police officer even spoke. 2 of them. I seen one today, a new one today that spoke, and he been on the force. Like it's been a couple of them that's been speaking on her behalf. Like he could have found another way. He could have stepped back. That's what he could have did.
Right.
And he could have left at the point that she said she was fine. He could have walked it off, but he lured her. Because I heard you say when what was it about the when she said I rebuke you?
Mm-hmm.
That was the officer behind him that said that told her lured her to turn the pot off, and that was the whole plot of it. She had just came home. She had the band still on her.
Right.
So it was an altercation. Obviously, allegedly at the facility she had just come from. That man's girlfriend worked at that facility.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one flashing around in the back so that she can call 911 and say 911 to say that somebody's, lurking around her house.
Mm-hmm.
He is the sheriff. And that's why he was the first one. He was the intruder that she was calling 911 about. Remember, if one of the clips, I don't know if the news played it, but they're only gonna play bits and pieces. You probably find more on YouTube.
Now, which one are you want me to pull up? I see 2. The one with the one we talked about on with the gentleman, the white guy in the car, and then that's not right next to it is a clip of the actual shooting. Is that the only 2 you have?
I think it was. I don't know. It may be another one, but I know I just saved one today, so I just haven't uploaded it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was the part about in order for that the way that happened, they had to get her in the house.
Mm-hmm.
In order for because he asked her for her ID. She didn't have nothing on. She had a gown on,
right.
And a robe. So obviously she had to go in the house to get it. They came in behind her. They had no business in her house, number one. When she came to the door, that was the limit. But in order to do what he had planned to do, that's why he ought to be charged for premeditated, because that was all in set up. They set that up, but the outcome of it was all on his behalf because he lied on the camcorder and said that she threatened him with the pot of water when, as you can clearly see on one of the videos, the pot wasn't even in her hand. She put the pot down. She still had the glove, I think, and she raised her hands up. If she had the pot in her hand, water should have been spilt somewhere on the floor, but it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't. And then even after that, he said the bitch is crazy to the officers. The backup that came when he came out, it's another clip that says when he stepped out, they asked him, "Well, did you get a possible suspect?" And he did a little snicker and like laugh and was like, "Yeah, me." Then that's when he said the bitch is crazy. Then he said, "I'm gonna go. Let me step to my car for a second," because he needed to take a deep breath because he know he didn't effed all the way up.
Right.
Like literally, like those officers was all silent. It wasn't no, it wasn't none of that. He even distracted the partner from going to get the medical kit because he was like, "Oh, it was a shot. It was a headshot." Then when they reported it, the first call he reported that it was self-inflicted because that's what the operator said. That was a lie.
Right.
Was enough to have self-inflicted. No, he lied. He lied that one, and then he lied and said that she was walking towards him with the pot, and she said, "I rebuke you." But she was talking to the other officer. She wasn't talking to him. He the one replied and said, "If you throw that water on me, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face."
Right.
And even after she was shot, they were still in there hollering, "Put the pot down, put the pot down." Like it's just, it was all to make him look. When he went to the police car to get the medical kit, he said, "Do we have any T10 something?" The code of it is to see if they had any medical reports on her. Now, why would you be looking for medical reports? Because your girl had already told you the incident, whatever altercation happened, he went over there defending his girlfriend. And I know she probably feel like a puddle of shit right now. Yeah.
So you think an incident happened between him and his girlfriend at the hospital?
Yes, because what was the purpose of you asking her, is your mental okay? There's a recording out. There's a video that got released on the body cam with him telling her, everything's okay? And she said, "Yeah, I love you guys." And he said, you okay? You're fine? And she said, this is outside the house before the ID even took place. He asked her about the ID after he asked her about her mental. Why are you asking her about her mental if you didn't know that she had something going on? Why would that come up? You're there because you're there to assist with the call. She dialed 911. You forced her off the 911 call. When she was on the call, when she found out that it was somebody on the, when they found out that the authorities was there, which was the sheriffs, they were ready to hang up. She was saying, "No, wait a minute. Remember that?" She saved her life right before her eyes. Like, it's so many videos. There's so many videos have released. They released audio from this incident, and it's so sad. But it's to help her, not him,
right?
Because you do have people that wants to try to find some way to justify it when there's no justification. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus is not a threat, and that water wasn't a threat because first of all, you sent her over there to even have that, to put her in that position. They put her in that position by sending her over there. First, it was to find the ID. Then she said, "I'm going to show you my paperwork." Now, what paperwork could she possibly be wanting to show them?
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't an incident prior.
Right.
And then he said, "What paperwork?" And then the officer said, "Go cut that water off." Everything was step by step. They distracted her from getting the ID, the paperwork, to go cut the water off, to killing her.
Okay, I'm gonna play because I want to see this again. I'm gonna play the one that you had. I hope it's the one that I seen before, because that did give me. Let me see. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one.
It's sad on top of sad, but it just needs to be, and then when then they didn't even tell her son what happened.
Right. They tried to make her think.
They tried to make it seem like they just told him somebody.
Yeah.
They never said it was a police officer.
Mm-hmm. I thought I heard the dad when on the conference say that they told him it was a suicide.
Yeah, but it was then then the next story it was somebody. She was shot, but never the police officer. They never told that to him.
Right. Okay, here's the one I pulled off of yours. It's 2 minutes long. I gotta find the one that I see.
Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot!
Father one.
She's already bleeding now.
Right.
Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078.
And he doing that so they could catch the all on the body cam, like he's in that. He on duty.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit. Headshot. You're done.
Yeah.
God damn it. God, fuck. Dude, I'm not taking fucking boiling water in the fucking head. And look, it fucking came right to our feet, too.
Lying.
God damn it. You good? I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good. What's it got? Let her fucking just. God, is that what you do, man? Fuck! Thank you. You good? All right.
He's such an ass.
Fuck. Well, you know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to the fucking face, and it already reached us.
Yeah, it reached you because it's spilled on the floor.
They got a 52 en route? Yeah, 278. She's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood from the head. I'll go get my med kit. Go get, hurry, get your med kit. I mean, there's not much we can do. We can at least try and stop the blood.
Yeah.
And you can actually go under that. I mean, that's on your own time. You can go under that. Sometimes you can, those videos that you pull up, if you click on the title, the person that put that video out, sometimes they will have
more
other parts to it, because there is like 9 parts on one channel. I just didn't upload all of that.
Right.
Yeah. There is like, that's how I was saying what I was saying, because I've actually been watching each step that, because we're good at dissecting something.
Right.
And the news is not giving that. They're not doing that because it's who it is. So that's why you got to go through YouTube. YouTube have a better breakdown, and from like with a fine tooth comb.
Right.
They got those. They got real longer videos. I just be scrolling through TikTok, and because that's where they're gonna put them. It's gonna stretch.
Right.
Like I've seen people get over 100 views, thousands of views, because they have really dissected the videos that they have leaked out, the audios and stuff. But from the body cam, they didn't got everybody body cam, because it wasn't none but men police officers, all white. All white men police officers, the bag up. They all was standing around looking crazy, face tight, because they know he done fucked up big time.
Right.
Like big time. He had no remorse, and then he distracted the partner from even trying to save her.
Right. Because, you worried about some water on the floor. Okay, she's down, you shot her, it's a headshot. Why not grab something and try to stop the bleeding?
Yeah. No, he wasn't worried about no water. Water never made it to the floor. He's worried about the pot on the stove, as if it was fucking with distracting him or something or another. And it wasn't even him. It was the partner that sent her over there. See, the partner was never in visitation. His shadow was.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of it is being directed towards him. But the partner was the one translated that, directing her to go turn that pot off.
Right.
But his face wasn't shown.
Why wouldn't the cop go do it? If it's hot water, if you think someone's not mentally right, why would you send them over to that stove?
But that wasn't there. They wasn't in that. They wasn't there to be
water.
Because they wasn't there to be that. Because they wasn't there to help, to serve and protect.
Right.
That's why. First of all, she dialed 911.
Right. She
didn't ask for a deputy, a sheriff. She didn't ask for that. That too was probing around her back, flashing lights. And she dialed 911. When she finally got to the door, he said, "What took you so long?" She said, "I had to put clothes on." When he came in her house, she still had 911 on the phone. And that's the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
She still had them on the phone. They was trying to rush her off. When he sent her in, and she said, "I called you guys. I called y'all for help."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, they already there. Not knowing he was the intruder in her back. He questioned her about the car in the driveway. trying to make it seem like it was, something other than what it was. That's why he surfaced around, because the point of it is to catch her from the back and kill her. Maybe she'll open up the back door if she come back here, but she didn't do that because she called 911. She seen the flashing lights. Right. Somebody probing. He never knocked on the door. The neighbor even got a video out. They even got the neighbor, because they interviewed the neighbor and said they never attempted to knock on her door in the beginning. They was probing around her house.
Wow. I didn't see the neighbor's video.
That just came out today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So every day it's, more and more is being leaked.
Mm-hmm.
But the neighbor said that, in the beginning, when she got to the door, what took you so long coming to the door is what he said.
That's crazy.
When he said, Sheriff, you call? That's what he said. You call? He was already there.
Right.
Because he wanted her to call 911 so that he could respond to her.
I think an hour later you did. Because she made that call at 12:50. By 1:51, she was unalive.
That's how long they were at her house.
She made the call, the 911 call at 12:50.
Right.
And then they got there supposedly at 1:01. They still had dispatcher on also in their car. He said, from what I could hear,
she was dead before then. They just took her in to pronounce her a time, and they putting that in the documents.
Right.
That woman was dead. That woman was dead minutes after that. The conversation of, you can look at the timing on the video to tell when she died. They just put a time down there when they took her up out of there to give a date. That's probably the autopsy date.
The shots was made at 1:21. So that was 20 minutes after they got there.
So that means, and she was still alive, because he said she's still breathing, but she bleeding really bad from the head. So she was alive that whole time, and they let her bleed to death.
At 1:23, the dispatchers was repeating, I guess from their walkie-talkie, that it was a self-inflicted wound.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
At 1:26, the ambulance got there.
And then after all of that, they took her in, and that's when they pronounced her at that time.
1:51 is when I probably would pronounce that.
Yeah. She was dead already before she left her house. And they didn't count that. They counted it after they checked her.
So do you believe, because I think I heard
I even seen one police officer said that he needs to get the chair. He wasn't a police officer, it was the white man. He needs to get the chair. Yep.
The father at one of the conference, he has said he wants the other officer to be arrested as well.
Who?
Yeah, her father.
The other officer that was in there with them, right? Yeah.
Because he also had his gun drawn too. So it's like,
yeah, he had his gun drawn at her, and he is the one that told her to go to. He directed her where she was at.
Mm-hmm.
He told her to go turn the water off. And she turned around to him and said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And he said, the other cop said, and if you throw that water on me, I'm gonna shoot you in the fucking face.
Right.
And he did just that within the seconds of him saying.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Wow.
Let me see if okay. Now it was one ignorant helper, black girl. She works out of Virginia. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok. She had the audacity to come back and say, y'all don't know what you would have did. We don't think. And when we're in position, we don't have time to think. And that's the very reason why a lot of them is no longer on the force, because when you're in training, that you do have time to think.
Right.
That is the purpose of it. You're supposed to use your brain.
Right. Because my thing is this, though. Okay, you don't know what you would do if you was in that situation. What could that pot of water, even if she launched it, I mean, unless she threw the whole pot, then she's probably going to get burnt herself, because that water
has been officers have got split in the face, and they grabbed a taser officers has been spit in the face before, and they will grab their taser, or you going to jail. You know, they ain't finna shoot you.
Right. Right.
It's just, you know, they have took a lot of abuse from people, like disgusting, such as that. I just watched the video with this guy. I'm wrong with him at the top. And it's about 5 police officers telling him, if you don't move, we're going to take you to jail. And he's saying, what you going to take me to jail for? What you taking for what? Because I'm standing here for what? What you taking me for? What you taking me for? You better cussed them out, about 5 of them.
Yeah.
Let them walk off, and they walked off. That was the end of it. They didn't shoot him.
Was it a white man?
Black man. But they knew something was wrong with him.
Right.
Not that he walking around with a band on. You can look in his face and tell he's off, you know. But he had enough sense to stand up for himself to tell, you know his rights.
Right.
And he stood up to them. And because see, when you know your rights, they know how far to go with you when you know your rights.
Yeah.
But not in all states. Like counties, let me say that. Because she's right in the Illinois section, so. But not in all counties. I can't say that. Because it is some hard, dirty cops. They all over. They mixed in, and it's sad. And I don't like to, I got police officers in my family. Lieutenants, all of that. And my boss was one. But I never experienced being around none of them with that kind of attitude. Harsh like that. Just, no, I've never. And a lot of people didn't like my boss because he did his job. That was one of the reasons why they didn't like him. Being a police officer, because he did his job. But there's police officers out here that ruin it for the good ones that actually serve and protect.
Right. Yeah, oh God. I'm not.
I don't know. That I was trying to find.
DB said, right? He was just gonna say that 312.
What?
Would
you
you
make it bad for the rest of them?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they do. It's like, and there's a lot of police officers that they be compassionate. They have families, they do understand. But then they also connected with a bad seed that puts them in a situation to make them have to either you gonna agree with me or this or that, and no.
Yeah, and it is sad because I would like to think there are some good officers out there. Like, I've never seen the officers here get too out of hand with situations, but I know a couple of weeks ago, it was like days apart. These cops was just shooting like out in the open. It was this one situation, the guy was running across the street on his, it's like when you're coming off the highway and you go to one of the main streets. So it's like both lanes, it's like three lanes on each side. And then it had like this beltway where you could stand across the street, from the highway section. And it was a panhandler guy standing there, trying to get some dollars or change. And the cops were chasing this guy on foot, and he's running through the cars, and they're shooting. And the panhandler guy kind of like ducked. And it's like, why would you shoot? It's cars driving past, cars stopped at the light, people walking, and you're shooting to get to one man. You rather shoot an innocent bystander than to let this guy go and get him another day. Because if he's a criminal, he did something, he gonna do something stupid again. You know what I mean? And then there was one where it was cars waiting for the light, and I don't know what had happened, but the cops got out of their car, and it was like 3 cars, and the guy that was at the light, they're telling him to get out the car, and the windows are up, so you can't see anything, even though he had those tents, and they start shooting in the freaking car. And we're like, what the heck? It's just, and then this one, and this was daylight. And another incident, it was at nighttime, downtown area, and they ran this guy through an alley, and all you just hear was pow, 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 pow. You know, because now they're in the alley where no one can see, and people said the guy didn't have no gun. So what are you shooting at him for? Run your fat, you know, ass and try to catch him. What are you shooting for? And that was probably the worst I seen. It was like in a matter of 2 weeks that these things happened, that I was like, we, you know, hardly ever hear about any cop shootings and stuff like that. Now we got a lot of other stuff going on, but you never really hear about no cop shootings that I can remember. You know, it's mainly, you know, of course, black on black crime. They might chase you and do reckless shit in their car, but not the shooting part. Now we like I said, shooting each other, people getting paralyzed all over the place in this city, but it's just sad. And you try to figure out, where do you go from here? When is it going to stop? When is it going to get better? I had played a poll.
Look at go on YouTube in your search and pull up Shots Fired podcast.
Shots Fired podcast.
Yeah. First letter capitalized. First letter in each word name capitalized. Everything else lowercase.
They talking about Sonia?
Yeah, it's like the breakdown. The police officers give a breakdown.
The very first video, cops breakdown.
The cop breakdown. So yeah,
Okay.
it's got. You see, it's quite a few of them though, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's the latest one. 2 days ago.
2 weeks, 5 days, 2 days.
I wonder, was that her mom they showed listening to the 911 audio? It was an older lady. That was her mother?
They didn't show her mom that I noticed.
It was just that was some lady. It was a bright lady. She was crying. They showed her. It's a video. If you go through, once you see that listing, you'll see what I'm talking about. I was trying to see, was that her mom or somebody they showed? They was listening to her on the 911 call because, like I told you, she didn't call a deputy. She called the police. The deputies made it there before the police, before she can get done with the call.
Well, I know the mom had called though.
And I think that was the second time she called, because the first call was when the lady said that when she tried to ask her name, she hung up on her.
Well, right. That was
That must have been the first call. Then the second time she called, it was a man.
But that
he was trying to brush her off.
3 different days these happened. On the 4th, 5th, and 6th. On the 4th, Sonia called at 9:36, I think it was, at night on the 4th. And she wasn't, she hung up on her, whatever, the one you said. She
Right.
didn't answer. And then the next morning at 9:07, her mother called. It was 2 calls made on the 5th. 9:07 in the morning, and then another call. And I think both times with the mom. And I didn't play that one. Where the mom was saying, she don't send anybody because she had fear for police. She's
Right.
like, she's having a mental break. Don't send in other words, no trigger happy officers. You know, she don't trust them.
Because okay, let me tell you this part. You got to see that. You have to find it somewhere. This officer is so deranged. He's been through multiple police stations working. How he got this job is because of his girlfriend. Father was the retired chief. Okay. Her little cousin was killed by the same idiot, Jack, bald ass man, sick ass man. Her little cousin. Okay.
Mm.
He had a mental issue also as well. It was a guy on the side of, it was a male, I think, a male and a female and a kid, a child. That was him.
Mm-hmm.
That was her cousin that was killed on the side of some road. You got to search it. It is out there. Like, people is disgusted because he has previously done so much, and others from other stations that, departments that he's worked in. So he has anger management problems.
Right.
He needs anger management. He has anger issues
Right.
or racial issues or prejudice. It's something. He got something.
Okay. Wait, I'm trying to find something. Keep talking. Yeah, I had it. I could have swore I played it, but you said you didn't hear it.
Huh? What you say?
I had that.
Do you want me to find the clips and email them to you so you can upload them?
I was trying to find with the mom, the call with the mom, her 911 call.
It wasn't in that viewing that what you pull up on is what you got on this phone.
Did you hear it though? Did you hear it?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, maybe this is it. I hope this is what I want. I'm gonna just play it so I don't have to look at it twice.
Massey. In early July, the 36-year-old called 911, reporting a possible prowler. The sheriff's deputy sent to protect her instead shot her. The Sangamon County Sheriff's Department has now released several 911 calls related to the case, and here is some of the audio from those calls.
The mental people told me to call 911 because I don't want you guys to hurt her, please. Please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please. They're scary. I'm scared of the police.
I keep hearing stuff on the outside of my house, and it sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see?
And Anna Schechter joins us now. She's CBS News' senior coordinating producer for crime and public safety. Anna, and the events.
9 a.m.
You
her
can hear
mother
when she's
placed a
talking
call
to the
to 9.
And she was like, she said, don't send no prejudice, officers. She's not going to hurt. Hello, my JoJo. How are you? She's not going to hurt anybody. She's harmless. Don't send no, trigger happy cops. She was begging them, like, she's not going to hurt anybody. She's just having a mental break. Don't send nobody trigger happy.
But but for her to say that, it has been an experience that she has endured before. So, but all of that to come out, something else had happened prior.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
which was the murder of her siblings, her family member.
Like I said, there was 2 calls made that day, and I believe they were both by the mother at 9:07 that morning, and then a little bit before 2, because at 2:00, that's when the ambulance came and took her to the hospital. Now, my question is, if she was having a nervous break or a psychotic break or bipolar, whatever her condition was, why would they release her? Because we're talking about from 2:00 that she was at the hospital, and by less than 12 hours later, she's calling the police again at 12:50. So how long did she stay in the hospital?
But that's the biggest See, that's the $1 million question, because, like I said, she still had the ban on. So something took place between her and his girlfriend, because that's what led him there. She had to already put whatever she wanted in his head to lead him over there. Him, I'm talking about, not 911. Him. He's a deputy. He's not a police officer. See the difference?
So do you think the
She
girlfriend
called
is
for
still
help.
doing her discharge, and whatever happened at that hospital, maybe she cussed her out, slapped her, did some crazy shit to her, and she said,
Something that she didn't want that girl to reveal because she was adamant about saying, "Let me show you my paperwork." Remember that?
Right.
They didn't even know what she was talking. They played dumb. What paperwork, you know? But whole time, you know, she's medically inclined because you see the band on her. And you in order for you to even get this close to her, you started from the back. She dialed 911. So when the 911 call dispatched, you knock on the door and said, "Sheriffs, you call?" That's what he said. If you listen to one of them, I don't know where it's at, but that's what he said. When he knocked, she finally opened it. Before she opened up the door, because it was a few seconds before she got to the door. He said, "Sheriff, you call?" And then she finally opened the door. He said, "What took you so long for opening the door?" She said, "Well, I wasn't dressed. I didn't have no clothes on. I had to put some clothes on." And she said, "I love y'all. I want to thank y'all." He said, "Everything's fine." She said, everything. He said, "Everything." He asked her, "Was everything okay?" And she said, "Yeah." He said, "Is your mental okay?" And she said, "Yeah, I took my meds." Why are we talking about mental? You're here to find out who's prowling around my house. If you said you walked around the whole house now, he said if we don't already walked around, there's nobody around. Then he questioned her about the black car that was in the driveway.
Right. Well, she told them, I can't remember which time, she told them that she broke the window. Remember the video showed the car with the broke window, right? She told them that she did break the window. She
Right, but then he was right. But besides all of that, they shouldn't have entered her house.
Right.
All of that conversation was led on her porch.
Maybe entering if she said she felt like someone was outside of her house, so they would go in there to check to make sure no one, broke any windows.
It wasn't about what was outside in her house. The
Yeah.
point of y'all coming was to check. She said she heard somebody prowling around her house. She may have added in like somebody was rumbling around her house, which she probably did to get her attention, thinking she was going to open up the back door, but she didn't. She dialed 911. And what did he do? He got the dispatch and he come around to the front. "Sheriffs, you call?" That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, what I'm saying as far as I don't think it's anything wrong. I mean, other than the fact that what happens has happened, but for an officer to come into your house,
He asked her for her ID. That's the only reason why he got in there. He got access to her. Once he said, "Let me see your ID." Because she was standing at the door, confused, fumbling. She was confused at that point. When she said, "I love y'all," and he said, "Everything is okay," he said, "How's your mental?" She said, "It's fine. I took my meds." And he said, "Let me see your ID." At that point, that's when they went in the house. She sat down. She said, "I don't know where it is." And he said, "Look up under that pile over there. That stuff right there." And she went to leave. She said, "I'm going to show you my paperwork." Then she got distracted to go turn the pot of water off. Now it's a threat for them to pursue what they came there to do from the rear of the house. It just ended up inside the house. They knew what nobody there. They knew that.
Let me see if this is the full one.
Like it's just, I just been watching and watching and watching and watching.
Hello, 911.
That was at 9:27 p.m. on the 4th.
Hello, 911.
Cool. I'm cool. Yeah,
Hello, 911. Hello.
911 address of emergency. Okay, what's going on there?
Well, my daughter is being sporadic.
No, this is 9:07 a.m. on the 5th.
Mentally having a mental breakdown, which is something new to me. She's not a danger to herself. She's not a danger to me. But when she gets upset, then she thinks everybody's after her. Like paranoid schizophrenic. She thinks everybody's after her.
Okay. How old is she?
Yeah. She's 35.
What's her name?
Sonia Massey.
Sonia, you said?
I'm just answering the question. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry. Hello. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Her name is Sonia?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And what's your name?
Donna.
Donna, what's your phone number there?
She's out in the front of the house talking so loud that you could probably hear her to the end of the block.
Okay.
She had a car keys in her hand, but they told me, the mental people told me to call 911 because she could get in her car and kill herself or somebody, because she has ran a couple of red lights when she went. And so she's being sporadic, and I don't want you guys to hurt her, please. Don't.
Okay,
please
ma'am, I've got some questions I've got to ask you. Does she have a weapon?
Okay. No.
Okay. Is this a suicide attempt?
No, she won't. She's not going to hurt herself or anyone else.
Okay. Is she alert?
She's alert.
Okay.
Mama.
All right. Ma'am, we're going to get help on the way, okay? If anything changes or she tries to leave, call me back.
Okay, my sister has something to say that she saw that I didn't see. She said, never mind.
Okay.
We got it covered.
Help's on the way.
Thank you. And please don't send no combative policemen that are prejudiced, please.
Okay, well, that would be done of them, man. They just do their job, okay?
Oh, they're all fucking, they're scary. I'm scared
Do
of
their
the
job,
police.
really?
Please, please.
There's nothing.
Did you hear what she said?
She's scared of the police. They killed her nephew.
Right.
To be fearful of, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sometimes they make the shit worse.
Okay. Help's
Here
on the
we
way.
go.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
I think that was that lady. That was her mama listening to that call. So I sent you a clip. Did you get that clip I sent you?
Fuck you up, bitch.
Nuh-uh. When, just now?
Yeah.
Fuck you up. I'm about to fuck you up. I'm about to fuck you up. I'm about to fuck you up. Come anywhere near me, beat anybody. Come here. Come here. Hey. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Come here. Come here. Get your motherfucking ass out of here, bitch. Come here. Wait till you come here. Wait till you come here. If you don't let me get in this car, I'm going to kill you, hoe.
I wonder who that is.
Right, where is that?
Come here.
If that's
Come here.
Is that her talking to herself?
I don't know, because they're only showing the house, but it's the call on July the 5th at 12:49 p.m. So
Right after the 911?
It's still a 911 call. Remember I told you it was 2 calls? So the first call at 9:07 was her mom. And even though they said they was on their way, they hadn't got there yet. So the mom is calling again at 12:49. And I guess they're letting the cops hear how she's talking. Who she's talking to, I don't know. Is she talking to the mom? Is she talking to the aunt? Or is she talking to herself? But the mom is on the call with the 911 because it says 911 call audio from July the 5th at 12:49. And remember, it was 9:07 when she did the other call that day, that morning.
Oh, I thought maybe they caught her recording because she said she was out there talking to herself. Didn't she say that?
Uh-huh.
Right. So I thought maybe that's what they was listening to, but then that could have been the outside of the calls. I don't know. But hold on one second. Oh,
Okay.
somebody on my phone. Where you at? Where you go? Okay, hold on.
What was I just looking for? You want me to hold on for the video? Yeah, so until 312 get back, I just think it's a shame that, because I hear people talk about the statistics of mental health.
You can go ahead, Cookie. Go ahead. I was just telling you I'm gonna put you on mute because I didn't want to distract you.
Oh, okay.
When I get you, I'm gonna kill you. You did this. Yeah, you did. And when I get in, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Bitch, you know where my teeth is, bitch. You bitch. I'm gonna just kill you. Bitch. Wait, bitch. Wait, bitch. You wait, bitch. Wait, bitch. Yeah. You knew that my people was out here, didn't you? You didn't know that my people was out here? Huh? Huh? 'Cause me, see your ass.
What's she talking to?
Huh? Huh? Come here. Wait, come on. What? You made me break my window? Huh? Watch this. Where she go? You ready? What? Google what? Because I take care of you, bitch.
All right, Miss Cookie, I'm back.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Where you ready
Oh,
to?
you kind of far away.
Bitch, I'm finna
I'm
tear
so,
your
can
ass
you hear
up.
that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. So I'm wondering, because if this is at 12:49, do you think maybe the 911 call is still going on while the police is there and she's talking to the police officers? Because did you hear when she said you didn't know my
Oh, you
people?
mean the first time, or right before the shoot? Right before the shoot, it was dark. Well, I guess.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. This is a call that's at 12:49 p.m. on the
Okay,
5th.
in the afternoon. On the
Yeah,
film.
the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah. I guess you could say maybe almost the same day because
Well,
12
it was in
hours.
the afternoon, p.m.
Right.
That was in the afternoon.
Right, the second time the mom called. So maybe when she called them back, the police had came, and Sandra is arguing with the police, saying Sonia is saying you didn't think my people was here, because she said you didn't think my people would be here, right? You didn't think my people would be here. So she could be talking to the police, because it's not showing us nothing. It's just showing us the house, and it has that when this was going on at 12:49. Right. So maybe that's who she's talking to, because she's kind of like thinking the cops is coming after her, because she said everybody's after her. Mom said she always think people are after her. So the cops are there. So she's like, oh, you think you're gonna come get me? But my family's here. You didn't think they would be here, huh? So that could be who she's talking to.
Yeah, and then maybe it's just I don't know. I said, yeah, you might be right, but I'm just trying to think about like who. I wasn't really listening to the call, but I heard it. I think I heard a little bit of it. I didn't hear a lot.
It's just been doing the same thing of her talking to somebody.
Right, in the background.
Right. And we can hear it because either the mom still is on the phone with 911 or it's the audio from the police, what's it called? Walkie-talkie.
Off his cam, off the body cam.
Right.
Did you hear the police?
I haven't heard nobody that I can tell but her voice.
That sounds like probably a phone laying down. Maybe it's a
I
phone
can hear
laying.
voices, but it sounds far away.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that like somebody left the phone down, laying down.
Right.
This was after the mama call?
Yeah.
All right. And see, it sounds like the phone is in the car.
Right. This is the second time the mom called.
Where'd she go? Where that girl go who bust my window? Hey.
She said, where'd she go? The girl that bust my window. So maybe that's what it is. The mom's calling 911 and they want them to hear her, going through her episode of how she's probably, in the house, having an episode or outside or somewhere.
Yeah, that's.
She busted my window. Right now? I don't know, but she needs to be found. Where's she at?
She said she busted my window. And they must have asked her when, and she said right now. And she said, "Where she go? You need to be you need to find her.
You need to be found.
Yeah. She running around. Why she just bust my window? Shana, where she at? She running around here.
Now she called the girl Shauna.
Sound like Shauna.
Yeah. So it's at first I thought maybe it was somebody else saying that Sonia did it, but it sounds like she's saying that a girl named Sana. Yeah.
I'm gonna say she busted it. I ain't busted shit, bitch. You did. How? Play a little game, bitch. Where this bitch go?
Central Dispatch, Mark.
Hello. Hello.
Central Dispatch.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you speak up?
So now it's
No.
12:57.
Okay, I can't understand what street.
Hoover.
Hoover?
Ow. Yes.
You said Hoover?
Yes.
Okay, what is the problem?
Man, you guys. Someone come over here and get this girl.
Sorry, what is the problem?
This girl hit me with a brick. Let me take it.
Okay.
Hurting real bad. She's sitting. No, hold on. Hold on.
Okay, and why did your neighbor hit you with a brick?
Well, come find out, cause y'all, I can't tell you when I'm hurting real bad. Then I go to the. Hold on now, cause it's crazy in my butt.
What is your name?
Just cause y'all come, I can't do it right now, man. Sorry.
Okay. What is your name?
Right address. I can't. I don't know hers. That's the only.
What is your name?
Wow.
See, I just
Now
think
to the
these
latest
videos
on-
coming out because they trying to justify him. That's the point of him asking how many mental reports they had on him because he's trying to get off.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have a paper trail of it, they're going to try to justify it. This is why it led that. But water is not a threat. No.
Right. Right. So it sounds like she probably has schizophrenia, multiple personalities. Because she named the girl, what was it? Sonia?
I don't care what she got.
Right.
That water wasn't no threat.
Then she said the person hit her in the head with hit her with a brick and she's bleeding. So she has these other people in her head and she see other people. So, that's probably what her diagnosis is, schizophrenia. And probably, yeah. So at 12:57 is when she was telling them that they need to come because she got hit with a brick. So whatever time they got there, from the time they got there, at 2:00 is when they took her to the hospital. So the first time the mom called in the morning. Now I don't know if the mom left her. Maybe the mom left her by herself thinking she was okay, or I don't know if the mom, because I don't know. We didn't hear the mom anywhere. And then she called the police herself that second time at, what was it, 12:40 something p.m. And then by 2:00, she was going to the hospital. But as we know, whatever time she got out, they probably only kept her. I don't even know why they wouldn't let her out, because I'm pretty sure whatever she was going through at 2:00, it ain't just disappeared by 8:00 that night, 6 hours. So why they even released her from the hospital, I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't have nothing to say about that because the only reason why the videos is out is to help him.
Right, but it's not going to. That's the sad part. I mean, that's the good.
Nobody knows that. That's the sick part, sad part about it. Nobody knows that. Like, it's been a police officer that only got a minimum of years, and the boy that he killed twice, he overkilled. He shot him 16 times.
Mm-hmm.
That boy had a mental trail too. Okay, and all he had was a pocket knife, and that was a threat, and he overkilled him.
Right.
So they display these videos to try to find some right in it for them to justify it. That's why this happened.
On people's emotions.
Right.
Oh well, what else was he supposed to do? Because she wasn't stable. All right, let's see what this video.
That's not even in question. He was supposed to be. He never was supposed to enter her home.
Mm-hmm.
You have all this artillery wrapped around your home. You got a waist full of it.
Right.
There's no way she was a threat to you. You 7 feet.
Right. Right. Because even if it means me having to tackle her to get that water, I'd rather have burnt my marks.
Even if you shouldn't have never entered her home.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an even if. It's not none of that. You shouldn't have entered her home. That's where it starts, and that's where it should have ended. Where you came in at, the door, you should have left right where you started at.
All right, here's the one you sent me.
Sonia Massey told deputies she loved them. 3 minutes later, one of them shot her. It's just one of the moments now coming out on body camera footage from Springfield. Good evening. I'm Brandon Morano.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. 2 weeks ago, Massey called 911 for help. Now, Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson is charged with her murder. And we are getting a look at what happened that night. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Cole Henke is live with us. Cole, what does the body camera footage show us?
It shows us in clear detail what happened in those crucial minutes between when deputies arrived at Massey's home and leading up to when Grayson shot her. And it verifies what court documents have already told us, that this was all over a pot of water. Sonia Massey called 911 thinking there was a prowler. 2 deputies, one of them, Sean Grayson, got to her home just after midnight.
Now you see where you're going. Look where you're going. It's from the back.
Next.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, sir.
Okay.
Deputies searched her property and didn't find anything. They talked to the 36-year-old for several minutes, eventually going into her home. Massey looks for her ID, and Grayson notices a pot of boiling water on the stove. Massey goes to get it. Then things take a turn.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot.
Her final words were, "I'm sorry." 3 shots were fired. One hit the mother of 2 in the face. The other deputy says he will go to get his medical kit, but Grayson tells him not to.
I'm going to go get my kit. Yeah, sure. She's done. You can go get it.
He's still before you even listening.
Grayson can be heard on camera telling others what he says happened several times.
You know, what else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to face.
Grayson also says several disparaging comments about Massey while she was on the floor bleeding.
Yeah, I'm good. Crazy. I think she set it up on purpose. I have a choice.
The Sangamon County State's Attorney did not buy Grayson's justification. Grayson is currently in jail on first-degree murder charges, 1 aggravated battery with a firearm charge, and a charge of official misconduct.
Once in 2015 and once in 2015.
Now, just minutes ago, I walked out of a press conference with the family's attorney, Ben Crump, and some members of Sonia Massey's family. I'll have more on what they said tonight at 6, but her father, Sonia Massey's father, adamantly calls for the resignation of Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell and refers to him as an embarrassment. We'll have more on that tonight at 6. Reporting in Spring.
Now, he said, I believe she set it up. Like, what?
Yeah.
If she's going to set it up for you to kill her, she would have had something better than some damn boiling water. She would have came charging after you with a knife.
First of all, the boiling water was for whatever purposes that she had in there. Like tea, whatever. Or it could have been for the person that she thought was breaking in her house.
Yeah. Or she could have been cooking or something because she was at the hospital. Like I said, they probably kept her there for maybe 6
But
hours.
she was getting her down. So, I mean, come on now.
Something to eat.
Right. Boiling some water.
Yeah,
whatever the case may be, it didn't have nothing to do with them.
Right.
They showed the body cam with him walking around the house from the back. That was the back of the house. He made it to the front, through the gate, and then the sheriff, you call? And she called 911. She didn't call for no sheriff deputy. She called 911. She called for police. How you the first one here? That's why I never believe it. Anytime the police, anytime you see 20 police on the scene, they got something to do with it. I don't give a damn what nobody's saying. How you here? How you the first one here?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even let the car get through good. You on the scene already? You know what happened.
I don't know. I mean, it took 10 minutes, so I don't know.
It took 10 minutes or what?
From the time she called to the time that they arrived, it was 10 minutes. 11
The
minutes.
bag up, he was already there. The police arrived 10 minutes later. He was already there. See, that's the mix-up. That's what people think. They don't see that part.
Wait, let me find
He's
this.
not a police officer. He's a deputy. You get it?
I do.
None of them officers agree with nothing he did. They came for backup, thinking it was suspect. It was no suspect. It was him the entire time. Him and his partner. That's why that daddy want that man locked up. Because he was with it. He was with all of it. He drawed his gun. He had his gun pointed at her as well.
Okay, let me listen to this one. Maybe that's fine.
I just
4
been watching
ears
them.
are better than 2. And I guess we got 6 ears or 8 ears. I don't know who else is in the chat.
What?
Let's see.
Who in the chat? Who in the chat, y'all? Who in the chat? Did we wild all down the chat? Carla fell asleep.
Carla, I don't know what happened to Carla. Carla came and gone.
Carla fell
JoJo
asleep.
came in and gone.
JoJo probably still watching, puffing the cigar.
On the rooftop.
Big bun your head. He probably still watching.
What you call big bunny head?
Big bun your head. Who lied? Who lied? Who lied?
Girl, everybody's lying. That's why I'm getting in this, because that's why ain't nobody over here.
No, I don't see nobody. Sound like it's gonna rain. Ooh, I'm gonna get me some good sleep tonight.
Larry's live, Papoose live.
Well, Papoose live now. Well,
43 when you're clear
I
that.
don't think Larry live no more. Well, shit, yes he is. Damn. I didn't know he was still alive.
Why is this thing acting stupid on me? Even my computer must be getting tired. Okay, so I can't believe he had the nerve to plead not guilty.
She 318, 319, just 43 when you're clear that. I'm going to have you both stacked to a prowler. Caller hears noises outside the house. Wouldn't answer questions.
So she called at 101. No, I think that's when they got here.
You know. 18 and 19, 23. 18, 19, Taylor. 19 from 18, let's knock.
Let's knock and see if we can make contact.
Taylor.
That was
319. 319. You want to try and call her 17 back here and let her know where I was from?
I'm gonna call her back.
So. Hitting no answer on callback, going to a voicemail with no name. I hear her phone ringing. She's using some of the doors. We're about to go to 318, 319. 43 now. We're getting an open line on 911 from a 911 only cell phone. It's not the call that she originally called from. And all we can hear is some sort of wrestling around. Yeah, she was yelling inside. She told us to hold on. I got a 20-foot. Go ahead. Hang on. Are you out with her? Yes, please. say no. Absolutely will. Channel 1's closed, units out, and you can start. Headshot wounded female. 1078. And you can start 2868 Hoover, 2868 Hoover. Units on scene are 1078, shots fired. You can start for 2868 Hoover, 1018, use 10-0 for shots fired. Team is going to be around. 862, show me. 7-4. Training 5, Sam Trevor. Patricia Nard.
669, 10-4.
Where's that at?
695, 2678 Hoover, 2678 Hoover.
Bro.
10-4.
Creo 2, I'm around.
It's just so sad. Ow.
From the head. Copy that.
Adam 03, once we get some suspect information or vehicle information, that's the stuff we need to start working on to help them out.
1013, key 21.
4.
Springfield 4, Frank 19, 1042.
19-10-4.
Spring Y. Just confirm self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. Stop it.
2 on out. Copy County's update.
I didn't.
Self-inflicted.
Okay, thank you.
Units en route to Hoover, slow down and continue. Units en route to 2868 Hoover, slow down and continue. 10 more units en route to Hoover, continue but slow down. EMS coming 1018. All units have been advised to slow down except for EMS, who is coming 1018. 43, team is going to be coming 1018. Make sure you're clear of the roadway to the scene.
695, all right. Secure now.
695, 10-4.
41, I'm going to be 23. 6 King 1 arrived, secure now.
6 King 1, 10-4.
I think we're good out here. We don't need anybody else. 10-4, any units are out to Hoover that are not 10-6 or 23, disregard and advise.
On full investigation, this will be en route, and they are contacting their CSI as well.
Copy that.
And I'm 23 on Hoover.
Tower.
Yeah. It all boils down to he's going to get what's coming to him. There's no way at all that any juror is going to find him not guilty. So with that, 312, you there? Well, I appreciate everybody that came out and joined us. All we could do is keep our prayers to the family and continue to be careful and look out for your loved ones. And if you know anybody that's suffering from mental illness, please get them help. Blessings to all.
All right, Miss Cookie, I enjoyed you, hunty. Until the
Yeah.
next time, I'm gonna keep searching for some more though. I keep telling you though, I got a lot of them. I mean, that I saved and that I have actually clicked on, so I
Right.
can they be in my like if I go and be like go watch the videos that I liked, those are still listed, so I can always pull it from that way and send it to you.
Right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your night to come and do this with me. Much love to you. And I'll see you
Anytime,
on the other
honey.
side somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. All right, Cookie.
God bless.
Good night. I'll see you on the other side. You're right.
Yes.
All right.
You crazy girl.
Okay.
Ain't no room for a nigga. Ain't no room for a nigga. Ain't no room. Going through the bag, you know through the dash. Ain't no make no man. Going through the bag, you know through the dash. Ain't no make no man. Going through the bag, you know through the dash. Ain't no make no man. 3 hoes, you know they mad. 3 hoes, you know they mad. Fucking up the cash on a brand new ride. Don't give a fuck cause I wanna use mine. Follow mine, yes, you know she a dime. Don't trust these hoes, you know they be lying. Trapped out the phone, yeah, blow up the line. Straight out the money, yeah, they say I'm entitled. They ride the way cause they know it be title. Right now it's 10 years from early retirement. Stop asking for us cause my gas should be crazy. Yeah, look at it, nigga, you know it ain't lying. Bad little hoe, come get she in mine. Fucked on yo, you was on the line. Seeing all the cash, yeah, they think they ride. A cash young nigga, that's all I want now. Cash young nigga, let's get it right now. Yeah, let's get it right now. All of these niggas is acting for gazy. 3 hoes and you know they mad. 3 hoes and you know they mad. Room for a nigga. Ain't no room for a nigga. Ain't no room for a nigga. Ain't no room. Going through the bag and you know through the dash. Ain't no make no mad. Going through the bag and you know through the dash. Ain't no make no mad. Going through the bag and you know through the dash. Ain't no make no mad. 3 hoes and you know they mad. 3 hoes and you know they mad.
Blessings to all. Once again, thank you so very much. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed week and be safe.